Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and we just had a big storm come through, actually flood level rains, and now I've got some work that needs to be done. And it kind of makes me think of the saying that you need to build your boat before the storm comes. And you know, the thing about that that's so interesting is there's no such thing as a surprise storm. Just in case you don't know the forecast, the long-term forecast, I'll tell you ahead of time. There's a storm coming. It's coming to your house and it's coming to mine. And it's coming to every aspect of our lives. And we need to be ready for it before it gets here. Which is, of course, easier said than done. Now, this is a literal storm that just dropped a tremendous amount of rain. So we're headed down to the pond. And we're going to see first, before we get into the heart of what this video is about, we're going to see how it affected the pond. Now, we're almost down there, and we're crossing the pumpkin patch, and I know how it affected the pumpkin patch. That is loving the rain. It's been a drought, it's been scorching hot. I've got drip irrigation on it, which is helping, but I'm thrilled with how the pumpkin patch is doing. Now here is my newest swale I dug to feed water into the pond. You can tell that swale's working because down the center of it, you can see where the water's been running. It's pretty clear and obvious. And when it comes to a storm and preparing the pond for a storm, I had it ready so that when flood water hits, it's going into this pond. I prepared for the storm on the pond by digging a drainage ditch here. I also dug a drainage ditch here. And that one is the only one that's more of a French drain style. The other ones are swales. And then I dug another drainage ditch right here. It's about 200 foot long, but it's old enough that grass has grown across it. This is what that other one's going to look like. And once again, you can see that the center of it has a little bit of a washout. That means it's working. And then there's one more swale down at that end. But I could not be more excited to see the water level on this pond. Now I need to get down here and do some weed eating. It's kind of a mess right now, but it's a dramatic difference between what it was yesterday and what it is today. I published a video about a year ago where I was standing 20 feet out and casting a fishing pole in this tiny little pool of a remaining pond and actually catching fish. And I thought we were going to see that again. That was last year in the end of August. And yesterday, we had maybe 4 feet of exposed bank from this water line. It was dry out about 4 feet. And today, it's a lot more full. Now, on a negative note, I wish I had grass across this last swale. As you can see, my blue pond is a little bit brown. And that's because I am washing dirt into it. And that's not the idea, but if you don't seed it, that's what's going to happen. Now give it 6 months in spring, that'll be grassed over. We won't have this problem. Boy, I tell you, it really does just get me excited seeing the pond this full. Now, when I title this video, Build Your Boat Before the Storm, I'm not talking about this pond. This was my good news this morning. I came out and saw it. I actually came out this morning thinking, man, I hope the pond's up. And where you guys know that there's a dry strip, when the pond gets low, there's a strip over there where I'm building the second bridge. And that strip was sticking up out of the water 4 inches maybe. I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if it was almost up to the top of that? Well, now we've got over 1 foot of water over it. So the pond came up probably close to 2 feet. But what I'm talking about in this video is the other kind of storms in life and how I'm not always that prepared. And it's something I really feel like I need to do a better job at. So right now, we're gonna go look at some storm damage on one of my 2 rental houses. When I say I have 2 rental houses, that's technically true, but my 2 daughters, my 2 adult daughters, live in those 2 houses. So it changes the dynamic a little bit, but not really. Anyway, we need to go fix a roof right now. So this is honestly a concept or a thought process I've been having a lot lately. Is what does it mean to be prepared for a storm? At some point, you're just having faith because you can't really prepare for a lot of things. But there are a lot of real practical things that we can do that sometimes I need to do a lot better job of. And in this example, we're talking about a literal storm that's damaged a roof. So being prepared for the storm means having insurance. It means knowing how to fix a roof. It means having tools and supplies so that you can deal with what comes. And it also means being active about maintaining the quality of your roof and replacing it when it's time. Knowing that it's older and susceptible, more susceptible to damage. And that's a little bit where I'm at, is I've got 3 roofs that need replaced. And I definitely cannot afford to have people do it. So I'm trying to decide if I try to pick the worst of the 3 and do one roof myself, wait 3 to 6 months and do another one and work through it like that. Now, my house and my daughter's house have both had shingles come off in the last 6 months. And I could have filed insurance claims on them then, but obviously when you file a claim, you're likely to raise your insurance premiums. And I don't know how it works. I'm actually going to call the agent tomorrow, Monday, and ask him about it, because what's an insurance claim like if they look at your roof and you say this roof looks like it's 5 years past the point where it should have been reshingled? You know, if you look at my house here, it's not excessively bad. They're not buckling up or anything like that. But that doesn't mean they're not past their expected life. So I don't know if it's worth filing a claim on this. I actually talked about the same subject whenever I had the damage on my roof. But being proactive about making repairs is another part of it. So a lot of you guys know that my truck videos have been really popular, and I made the mistake of announcing how much I paid for my truck. And that's brought a lot of criticism. And there were people saying like, man, you could have bought a Corvette or a Mercedes for what you spent on that truck. I said, yeah, but those cars don't prepare me for a storm. I feel like owning a truck makes you a little bit more capable. Owning a chainsaw makes you a little bit more capable. Owning a tractor makes you more capable of solving problems for yourself or for others. And those are the kind of skill sets I'm able to have. And then, you know, maybe you know someone who's got a different type of skill set that could be important. But to me, I can't imagine not having some kind of a truck. What if you need to haul something? So, to me, that's just part of being prepared for a storm. Now let's go look at this roof. So I lived in this house for 7 years, and now we've been gone for 3. And this is a case where, honestly, I'd like to move on from these other 2 houses and sell them both. But I don't know if my daughters want to buy them or if they're able to buy them, but we'll see how it goes. But sometimes you're just trying to take on more than you need to. But as I say that, I'm thinking the other truth is I'd probably still be over here if I didn't own the house. I'd still be over here fixing this roof. But a comment I made back at the house was that sometimes you just have to have faith because you can't prepare for everything, and sometimes there'll be problems that you can't handle on your own. But having faith does not mean sitting on your hands. You still do your part to prepare. You know, I review a lot of different products, but it's stuff that I buy, stuff that I've had for a long time. I never think to make a video reviewing it. But if you've ever wondered if those little giant ladders are really all they're cracked up to be, they are. I've had this one for maybe 6 years. I think they're bulletproof, they're easy to operate, they're versatile. Little giant ladders, pretty good. It's a little bit of a hassle transforming it into its different configurations, but not nearly as bad as trying to have a whole bunch of ladders for different jobs. You guys think I can still carry a pack of shingles up a ladder? What am I talking about carrying a pack of shingles up? I think I only need about 6. I'm not taking them all up. Hi, baby. Toys? Did you bring me toys? All right. Okay, here we go. So, here is a shingle we lost. Judging by that, I'd say we lost it in the last storm and we just didn't know it. This is the damage we're dealing with today. It's crazy how quickly nature takes over. I trimmed this tree back in the last year that I lived here, so maybe 4 years ago, to where it didn't extend over the roof at all. I cut all those limbs back from the roof with a pole saw. Then I cleaned all of this out. There were actually plants growing out of the gutters. I cleaned all the gutters out and I put new gutter covers over it. And it's a little bit of a losing battle. This needs trimmed up again, but I didn't come here to do that. So that'll be another day. Now to this point, I've been at least somewhat talking as if I know something, but that's over now because I don't know anything about the right way to fix a roof. I've done full roofs by myself. I used to help my dad and my grandpa do roofs. Everyone shingled their own roofs back in the day. So I've done quite a few, but repairing them, you know, to fix this one always requires you to disturb the one above it. So the only thing I know to do is use a lot of this roof patch, leak repair kind of product. That's tar in a tube is what it is. I just use a lot of it, so if I have to pull that one up to slide under it, then I'm putting this all over underneath every shingle that I mess with. I tried to wait as long as I could to let the roof dry out. I mean, I don't want to put it off for days, but I tried to wait till the end of the day. It's after 7, maybe 7:30, so it'd be cooled off. It's still pretty darn hot up here, and I'm in the shade. I don't know how people roof for a living. I mean, getting through it for one day, I get, but man, I guess you just acclimate if you do this all the time. All right, I think I'll start down here where it's less complicated and work my way up. And this is the area where if you've got some expertise, share it in the comments. Hey, if you think it makes more sense to start at the top and work down, I'd like to hear it. So I know these have the little built-in tar strips, but because we've already got a problem here and the roof's old, anywhere I work on, this gets a shot of this underneath to try to help. Gluing it to the tar paper doesn't help, I guess, but just trying to do the best I can. Like I said earlier, what I hate about this is the shingle I just nailed down, and it should stick to the one under it. But this one, it's all just flopping. So what spurred all this conversation? Well, it's just a little bit of thinking on my part. I'm 42 years old and been around a few things. I've had some successes in my life, but I haven't always planned the best. And today I should have two options. Option one, I guess three options. Option one is just let the insurance make their determination. Option two is just make a call. Say, hey guys, I need a new roof, put me on your schedule. Option three is fix it like I am. There's nothing wrong with fixing something yourself, but I should have the option. I should be prepared for a roof failure. Got to do better. Okay, it's patched up. I dipped my whole hand in the tar, made a big mess. Talked a lot more than I needed to, said more than I needed to. But it always does feel good to repair something. I appreciate you guys taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.